Nation, what's up? Hey, welcome to Starchasers Girls Talk Ball. You know, it's your girl Mickey, aka CravinCowboys. And of course, you know, this is my girl Star with me. Of course, you know, we both trying to bring inspired content to you guys. How you doing tonight, Snar?
What's up, Mickey? I'm doing great. Glad to be here. After a Cowboys W on Monday, we sure did pull it out.
I think all smiles, all smiles.
Yep. Before y'all, we get started, as you see in the banner below, please like this video. Please share. Please subscribe. Shout out to all my new subscribers too. I got a lot of new subscribers.
Yes. Welcome everybody in. Yes.
Now, because the thing is so sporadic, it don't tell me every single one of y'all who joined, so I'm sorry, but I'm gonna give a couple of shout outs to my new subscribers. T-Dub, thank you. PR, Chosen, Brogan at Canterbury Renaissance Fair, Raymond Cash, thank you guys for recently subscribing to my channel. Hopefully y'all are feeling the content. Subscribe to my girl Mickey's channel, and also be sure to donate to both Mickey and I through our Cash Apps. Y'all can see mine in my banner below, StarGazerSports, and then Mickey's, y'all can see her in her banner. So yeah.
Right here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome everybody in the chat. Of course, first in the chat tonight, Sports Junkie. What's up, my dude? Yeah, you got to link up sometime this week, fam. I'm good with you. Welcome, Nisi, of course. My sis, what's up, fam? Always in the building first. Yeah, yep. What's good? Good to see everybody. Tavis, of course. What's up? How you doing, fam? Yeah, we back. Hey, and I don't know if you guys. I'm sure you guys saw it on Twitter, but I don't know if you guys saw that clip. I shout out to Cowboys Fan Talk, aka Rome. He started off his video with it. After Gilmore caught the interception, everybody kind of came down to the end zone, and Mike kind of grabbed, put his arm over his neck, talking about something. We back. I just loved it. I had to tweet it out last night. Like, I got hype off that. I ain't gonna lie, that made me feel good. Yeah, I think we back, y'all. We back.
Yeah, we back for sure. I just think
what's up? Somebody new to the building. Check it out, Star.
What's up, the Lunatic? Thank you so much, the Lunatic. I ain't seen you in a while. Appreciate you for being
so much with us, brother. Yeah, definitely a staple in the Cowboys, Cowboys Nation community. We definitely appreciate you tonight.
For sure. Very happy to see you, the Lunatic. And I just think, ultimately, this has to be the most resilient team in the NFL.
Yes.
Because you just don't go from literally getting, you got beat to a pulp against your arch enemy, your arch nemesis, on primetime, Sunday night.
Yeah.
And then the record versus the 49ers after a loss by them since last year is either was 0-19 or like 1-19 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 0-19, yeah.
So now we're the only team after facing them who was able to pull out a win, guys. So that's just inspiring in and of itself because what's up, Dwayne? Glad to see you.
Hey, Dwayne, how you doing?
In and of itself.
Glad we able to catch us.
Thank you. Yeah, but it's just inspiring in and of itself to just really, and I know people like to, because that's a new thing now. Everybody is taking a giant dump on Mike. Now I know some of the play calling and in question and stuff like that, but I put the day on Twitter. I said, well, how can a coach literally only had one losing season? And even the season that he lost his quarterback, and he was still only one game away from making the playoffs.
Right.
Back-to-back 12-5 seasons, back-to-back playoff appearances hadn't happened since the early 2000s.
Yep.
Literally was able to secure the first road win playoff game that we've had in 30 years.
Yep.
Against a guy that we've never beaten in franchise history. Like, I can get the issue with some of the play calling, but calling Mike McCarthy a bad coach is just really lazy. I saw some people saying I'd rather have Jason Garrett than Mike McCarthy.
And that's not even if you're a casual fan, you literally can't feel that way.
At all.
Even if you're casual, you had to, because I'll admit I was a casual through those 8 years. That's before I really actually got into football.
Right, so I was definitely a casual. So
even though you had to feel those years compared to 12-5. So you're just saying you felt better during those 8 years,
like
12-5.
And y'all, you can't sit here and tell me that the resiliency and the culture of this team has not changed.
Right.
Like, yes, we have issues. Yes, Mike has issues. He's definitely not perfect. But to say that, like, for us to win after that humiliation, Jason Garrett's Cowboys is doing that. I don't really think so.
Right.
I don't really think so. It just shows also like just the mental fortitude of the team.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
how much influence he has on that locker room, because we know he changed a lot.
Like, y'all, there's just so much more to being a coach. And it's not easy to win games. I don't know what y'all were thinking, but like, your coach is a winner. Like, you look at his record before he came to here, you look at his record now. The guy wins. So you can say he's lazy, he's fat, he's a liar, he's a fake analyst. You can say whatever the hell you want about.
That's crazy, and I hate that it goes to that, because even when I was at the game that week at San Fran, as soon as they saw the play calling wasn't working towards the end, I heard some dude mom talking about, it's Pat McCarthy, and I'm like, bro, that's all you can shout out. That's all you really can think of. That's all they can say right now. That's how I know you're casual, because all you can think of to say. That's your attack.
Exactly.
The whole game we just watched, that's your attack.
Like, just very, you can call him what you want, but he's a winner. Right. Just like you can call, and we're going to talk about it, you can call Dak Prescott what you want, but Dak Prescott is a winner. Right. Dak Prescott has not had a losing season since he's been a quarterback. And that's what number one, that's what wide receiver by committee, that's without a steady run game, that's what the coordinators who are predictable.
Playing through a calf injury, playing through a broken finger.
That's what injuries. Like, Dak Prescott don't give a damn about the excuses. He's still a winner. Right. Y'all realize other quarterbacks?
Right.
We're going to talk the excuses. Oh, I didn't have my right tackle. That's why I lost.
Right.
Oh, my wide receiver went down. Oh, my running back was out. Oh, it's all these. Oh, my hand. I hurt my calf. That's why I look like shit, because I hurt my calf.
Right.
5 weeks ago. So you see what I'm talking about? But see, our quarterback doesn't give those excuses.
Yeah.
He comes out week in and week out. And Mike McCarthy talked about the mental fortitude of that. Week in and week out, he's the exact same guy. We win, guys.
Right.
We win games. I don't know what else to say. You can say Dak's so inaccurate that he has top 10 in completion percentage. This year, he's top 4 in completion percentage, top 7 in QBR.
Yep.
Like, your quarterback is consistently good from year to year to year to year. He wins from year to year to year.
Yeah.
I just don't know what else y'all want, because the other quarterbacks that y'all have ahead of him are be losing.
And they're showing themselves this year, Star. They're showing themselves this year. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, all had troublesome games, and they have yet to be called out.
I'm glad you said it right. All of them getting exposed.
Yeah,
getting exposed. Even the mighty great Mahomes, who two-time MVP,
from game 1.
Like, they're all getting exposed, and the excuses is what? Oh, now you know what they're saying with Mahomes. He's struggling. It's because he lost Eric Bieniemy. Oh, but y'all said Eric Bieniemy wasn't that good.
Thank you.
Y'all said Patrick Mahomes could do it with whatever. Y'all said Patrick Mahomes doesn't need help.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need any help. Look what he did.
Andy Reid's Hall of Fame coach.
Right. Oh yeah, that's what y'all said. But now, the offense looks weird because he don't have Eric Bieniemy, and then we'll look at his wide receivers. How much help does Mahomes need? He had to bring. They got rid of Mecole Hardman. They just re-signed him.
Right.
Now Mahomes needs more help. I thought y'all saying he doesn't need no help. He does it all by himself. He doesn't. Never mind that Patrick Mahomes had a top 5 offensive line last year. Never mind that he had Hall of Fame tight end that's arguably one of the best in history, probably really only after Gronk.
I can't tell if you talking about Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts because he got a tight end over there.
Yeah.
They just signed Julio Jones. They got an outstanding offensive line over there. So
the best offensive line in football. Jalen Hurts still has the best offensive line in football, even with losing Lane Johnson for a game.
Right.
Then they said, they were down 2 wide receivers, so they had to go and get Julio. It's like, how much help do these quarterbacks need?
Right.
Really? Because
if they're carrying the team on their shoulders.
Yeah, right. Y'all said that's what y'all said. These quarterbacks just carry the team on their shoulders. Never mind. I don't even know if y'all actually have ever looked at Joe Burrow's playoff performances, but that's people always say Joe Burrow. He's so cool. He's so good. He's so calm, collected. Have y'all seen his playoff performances? Have y'all looked at the stats? It's not good.
Right.
It's not good.
Right.
The Super Bowl might have been his best game, but leading up to the Super Bowl, not good. Those games where he went to the Super Bowl, 0 touchdowns.
Yep.
0 touchdowns. But then you know what y'all say is, he didn't have an offensive line. That's why. Oh, okay. How many times has Dak now had an offensive line?
Right. And when we have had a line, as you see this year, we've had multiple absences. We have rookies undrafted starting their first NFL game.
Always some randoms in Dak's offensive line. Always some randoms in his wide receiver core. Don't nobody know who they are.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow got the best wide receiver core in football. Oh, but he's hurt. I'm sorry. So it's okay. Yeah. He can play like ass because he's hurt.
Right.
He's elite.
That actually injured his throwing hand.
Yeah.
His finger in his throwing hand.
Yeah, but he's better. Don't even mention Dak and Joe Burrow in the same sentence because Joe Burrow is way better than Dak. It's not even close. Yeah.
Right.
Just like this type of shit just really blows my mind. It blows my mind.
The excuses that they get is crazy.
Excuse after excuse after excuse. And y'all see, look what happened this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just lose to the Jets, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like Sports Junkie said, the win was great, but other teams losing made it much better.
Exactly. So Eagles lose to the Jets, the team that we blew out.
Yep.
Jalen Hurts couldn't beat Zach Wilson, and the only excuse that he had was his right tackle was out. So I saw shots of him literally, his feet were planted. He wasn't even pressured. He was not
right.
Staring down and still throw the ball for interceptions and pick sixes. Yep. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, without their top 2 corners, by the way.
Without their top 2 corners. Then you turned the ball over 3 times. Then you have Purdy. Remember, y'all said Purdy was MVP, and y'all got offended when Jerry said last week that Purdy reminded him of Kellen Moore. Oh, this is how you just clear.
Right.
Jerry don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, you know that anybody know who the most winningest quarterback in college football history is? Anybody know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, I'll tell you. It's Kellen Moore.
Yep.
Right? Kellen Moore, still to this day, with all the Caleb Williams and tanking for Tua and tanking for Trevor Lawrence, could not beat Kellen Moore's record. Could not beat it. And why? Because he was extremely smart, and his whole offense was predicated off of anticipation, accuracy.
Yep.
Who Brock Purdy is. The reason why Brock Purdy looks so good is because he is perfect for Kyle Shanahan's system.
Mm-hmm.
He's perfect for him. Brock Purdy is a 7th round. He was a 7th round pick for a reason, right? He doesn't have the athleticism or the strong arm or even the typical QB stature.
Right.
He's really smart, and he does throw accurately, and he throws the ball with anticipation. But all of his throws are on time in the middle of the field. All his wide receivers have 5 yards of separation per target.
Right.
And he don't be pressured. But when he faced the Browns defense, he looked horrible out there.
Terrible.
And y'all like, he didn't have Christian McCaffrey. So remember I told y'all Christian McCaffrey was the offense. It wasn't Brock Purdy, it's Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
Put the video on TikTok. I put the video out on all my social medias. But see, that's what I'm talking about. So are you really that good if you just lose two guys and all of a sudden you just fall apart?
Right.
Yeah.
You still have Ayuk and Jennings who just came back from an injury.
Correct. And y'all just fall apart. Okay. Then we played QB Jesus this week. Justin Herbert, the best.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Cowboy fans saying Dak's top 5, but he ain't better than Justin Herbert. He's no way possible he's better than Justin Herbert. But Justin Herbert couldn't even make it to playoffs until last year.
Right.
And then blew. His defense got him 4 interceptions.
Yep.
Went into the half 0-28 and lost the game. 0-28. And then now y'all saying, miss this game wide open. I mean, Keenan Allen was so wide open. I mean, everyone's saying that would have been a touchdown. He would have been gone. He was so wide open. If he was unpressured, that's the thing. Justin Herbert, it's the thing like, oh, he missed it because Michael was in his face. No. He missed Keenan Allen. Feet was planted. Keenan Allen wide open.
Yep.
Overthrow after overthrow after overthrow.
Yep.
But y'all say he's QB Jesus, and y'all said he's undoubtedly better than Dak Prescott.
And we heard Aikman say Dak outplayed Herbert, and we've heard plenty of analysts say that Dak outplayed Herbert.
Yeah, I want y'all to stop
Monday night.
At this point, just stop the Justin Herbert is 0-2 versus Dak Prescott.
Dak, right. Mm-hmm.
So at this point, please stop it.
Yeah.
Please, let's just cut it out at this point.
Yes,
all these quarterbacks that y'all say were better than Dak are really getting exposed. The evidence is right there in front of your face, but y'all just don't want to see it. You know what y'all say? Well, at least Burrow been to a Super Bowl. Well, at least Allen went to a championship. That's all y'all can say. As if Burrow went to a Super Bowl because his arm was so great, as if he threw his way to a Super Bowl.
Right.
As if Allen threw his way to the Super Bowl. Like, let's please stop. But anyway, I'm gonna get off.
I agree with you. And like you said, it's about time that they started to be exposed for what they're really doing in the league. Like you said, they have they have those accolades. You know what I'm saying? And those, like, not saying they don't matter. Like you said, like they say, what have you done for me lately? You know what I'm saying? So what are you showing right here, right now? And we see, and we heard the stat. I think it was, I don't know which, I don't know what show it was exactly, but they said the stat that I think it was Good Morning Football actually, where they mentioned that Jalen Hurts has right now, I believe, 7 interceptions, and last year he only had 6 over the span of 15 or 15, 16, or I think 15 games because he was injured. I think for 2 of them. So, just hearing those numbers in itself, you're seeing that he's obviously passed the numbers he had last year. But all of a sudden, like everyone's saying now, all of a sudden, interceptions don't matter because Dak only has, now 4 because of, what they went through, the previous week with 49ers. But, we ain't talking about that anymore all of a sudden. We ain't talking about interceptions no more. They don't matter.
Right. They're not really too worried about that. Let me see here. Yeah. So...
it's just what you were talking about earlier, Star. Dak's PFF, like you said, highest graded quarterback for the week, 90.7 passing grade, and also finished 7 for 9 for 105 yards when pressured.
Yep. And it's like, if you look at it here, all the QBs now, Josh Allen, he's not leading his division. He's 4-2, just like that.
Right.
Herbert 2-3.
In a very tough division. I would say very tough because I would say the team that they play tough teams. We know that in the Chiefs division, you know what I'm saying? The Broncos play tough against their divisional opponents. You know what I'm saying? So in the Raiders, we know they beat the Raiders, the previous week.
But
the
thing is, it's a tough division, but it's not tougher than our division. We had 3 teams.
Right.
We had 3 teams last year make it to the playoffs. 3.
True. Mm-hmm.
So, and then the year before that, we had 2 teams make the play. Like, the only person that you really that AFC West is not hard to beat. The only quarterback you gotta beat is Patrick Mahomes. And if you see, Dak owns his division. They brought you in, Herbert, you're supposed to be QB Jesus. So you're supposed to you're supposed to be able to compete with Patrick Mahomes. If you can't even compete with the quarterback that's in your division, I really don't know what to tell you. Like, I really don't know what to say and what to tell you. Like, you got to beat your division first. Eastside Herald,
What's up, fam?
Look at y'all's record. Where y'all at? 3. Yeah, y'all just as 500. So I was the.
Yeah, I believe y'all just beat the barely hanging on Saints. But okay, that's cool. You got it, Eastside. You got it, man. Congratulations. Hey, you beat a NFC South team with no, a division that really has no quarterbacks in it. But hey, man, shout out to you, man. Yeah, congrats, Eastside. Congrats.
Y'all got CJ Stroud, which y'all think is the next coming of Jesus. Maybe he can help y'all out. Maybe y'all can win. Maybe. Yeah. But anyway.
Shout out to Sports Junkie. He said Nick Wright called them all out and put Jalen last 3 season stats against Dax. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that segment, but let me know in the chat. Maybe just a summary of what those stats says, Sports Junkie. But we know that they try to compare, and what's crazy is I think we seen in some clips the other day where they said that because Dak has played 8 years, it matters more. What he's done. Right?
Well, Dak's played 8 years, so now okay, and Allen's played 6 or 7.
Right.
He said Purdy was affected by bad weather, but the Cleveland backup QB had no issue.
Right.
Light them up. It was the weather.
Right. Texting at 3 and 3. Yeah, so like you said, star 500. So congratulations.
God bless. Like, this is all I'm saying. Like, it really is sad, guys. It's sad, the excuses. Like, he's leading the NFL in turnovers. Yeah, he's leading it. But not
right up there with Jimmy Garoppolo, guys. Yeah.
You can look at every advanced QB statistic. Hurts has regressed significantly. He looks terrible. You know who he looks like? The Hurts before last year.
Yes, exactly.
You want to know why? Because his new OC is calling on him to pass the ball, and he cannot do it.
Right.
He cannot pass the ball. He cannot read defenses. You want to know how I know Dak is better than Jalen Hurts defensively? You think Dak was reading defenses and stuff when he was a rookie or even his sophomore year?
Right. No.
But yet he carried the team to 13 and 3.
Right.
Then his worst year of his career went 9 and 7. His worst year. His worst
year demolished by the Bucks that playoff game. The same play. It's like they got one and done. We were one and done. But our one and done was so much bigger, I guess, because we played San Fran, than the Eagles getting trampled on by the Bucks. But okay.
Exactly, Dwayne. Jalen didn't. He hasn't even. He could not play well till he got AJ Brown, right?
Right.
Dak played without a number 1 last year. Mm-hmm. And had it not been for our complete disaster before versus the 49ers, Dak was going to make it to the championship with wide receiver by committee. We were going to beat the Eagles. We were going to be in the Super Bowl.
Right.
With wide receiver by committee. You see, there's things that point to just how good Dak Prescott is, but no one will look at it because they say, well, we'll look at the playoff wins. And now they want to say, well, when you look at all of that, QBR, EPA, all better than all the quarterbacks y'all say is better than him. It's all better than them.
Yeah.
But the only outlier is literally the 49ers team. And at this point, it's not a Dak thing or this thing. It's a team thing.
Right.
It's a team thing. The team has to beat the 49ers. Right? Like, they have to overcome it. At this point, it's a mental thing because there's no reason at all. I do believe what Michael said. The 49ers kicked our ass, but to say that they're just light years better than us, bro, no.
Yeah. No. So I guess he really, because watching his post game interview, we saw him mention I don't think they're necessarily that much better. We beat ourselves. And even at that moment, I didn't necessarily believe it. At that moment in time, they were. Even in my opinion, I thought they were levels because like we always talk about in our show, Star. It's about details and how you play these certain teams in the league. You know what I'm saying? You can't come at the 49ers the same way you come at the Giants, like the Jets. Even the Cardinals with the defense they came in with 9 sacks, so they were nothing to shrug at. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
even facing that kind of defense, even with the Jets, they always compare the Jets and the 49ers defense. You
Right.
still come into the game facing, with the same game plan. So we
Yeah.
have been smarter, with better game plans, especially against teams like the Niners. So they're going to look that much better than us when we come in with a level 3 game plan against a level 10 team. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then I couldn't have said it better myself. Like, it's the team. And when you don't have the proper game plan against the team, you're gonna look terrible. All your players are gonna look terrible. They're gonna quote unquote look like ass or whatever the hell y'all want to say. They're not gonna look good. And again, I'm not saying the 49ers, the 49ers kicked our ass. It's just undeniable. But the gap is not that wide when it comes to talent and what we're capable of. We know that. We were in the game with them last year with wide receiver by committee outside of CD Lamb.
Right.
So I really think this game was...
And Dalton Schultz as like the permanent number 2 because we really didn't even, we were after a while we weren't really targeting Noah like that because he was.
So it's like you really got to think like this team is really, and we got better. We got better talent. So when you line us up, we match up with him well. It just comes to the mentality.
Right.
But honestly, it wasn't that we were scared of them. Like when I saw you go back, Dak's not scared of them. Micah's not scared of them. We're not scared of the 49ers, bro. Like blow for blow, I think if we had a fist fight that night, we probably beat the hell out of it.
Yeah, I was thinking, and honestly, I thought the way the Chargers game looked, I thought that's how the 49ers game would look, more gritty, more down, maybe even down to the last second, kind of how like they were kind of with the Browns. I thought that was going to be how our game looked, honestly.
Yep. That's what we thought, but it's like, literally.
Sports, like you said, he mentioned earlier, they had the stats of Hurts and Dak next to each other. I mean, if you look at the numbers, we look at the passer rating. We see they're kind of, close up about 5 points. Touchdown and interception ratio. We see Dak's numbers obviously higher. Completion percentage, even pass yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And this is last preseason.
Right.
Missed games last season.
Exactly.
Missed the game in 2021. Played hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Broke the franchise record. Like Dak has.
Jalen hasn't missed nearly as many games as Dak.
At all. Dak has. If you open up your freaking eyes and stop listening to narratives fit about your quarterback, you would realize just how good he is.
Right.
All the Dak stats point to, he is a top tier quarterback.
Exactly.
He's
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
He's top tier, and with worse coaching, with worse offensive coordinators, his numbers are on par with those who have good offensive coordinators, have Hall of Fame coaches,
and not to mention a carousel of coaches because they constantly switching out assistant coaches, and things like that.
Carousel of coaches, but his numbers are on par with these guys, better than a lot of these guys with consistent coaches, consistent defense, consistent offensive line, consistent offensive weapons. So if a quarterback is able to have their numbers on par or better with less, what does that mean? Like, y'all did, that's why I keep trying to get people to understand, like, what does that mean? If I'm able to be on par or better than you with less,
right?
If I had what you had, I'd probably be
right. Like they always say, switch the two. If you put Dak over there, if you put him on the 49ers, put him on the Philly.
And I don't want to hear any more about, we want to talk about arm talent and arm talent this and arm talent that.
Right.
Okay. That showed you. Dak been showing y'all he got arm talent. Like, y'all remember, there's a reason why Dak literally led the league in tight window completion throws.
Right.
Like completions, not throwing, like completions. Y'all don't remember that Browns game when the cameraman was like, how did he fit that in there? That's arm strength. Like, I don't know what y'all are talking about when it comes to arm strength. He can't do that. Dak just hit him Mahomes versus the Chargers.
Right.
That these Negans do, Dak can do it.
Yeah.
Period.
And we just looked at just a second ago, his completion percentage under pressure. With pressures in his face, even scrambling, Dak is known for being absolutely amazing and being put in that position. You would think being in that position, most guys lay down, most guys take the sack, and there were times in that game where Dak did take a sack, but in those times where he had to get out the pocket, we even seen in previous games when he was being flushed out the pocket how he not just it's not just him passing the ball, also when he makes those first down conversions, 15 plus yards.
Some consecutive years in a row with not great play calling. Your quarterback's like number 1 in third downs.
Right.
Like I just don't know what else we can say to y'all. But shout out to Dwayne and shout out to you, the Lunatic, for your donation. I appreciate that very much, guys. I really do. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
But literally, like, I just don't know what else to say. People got to take risks. That's why I'm like, literally, if we get rid of Dak Prescott, which everybody thinks, like maybe it's just time to move on, and not for
yeah.
But I would take that. But
shout out to you, PZ. What's up, fam? Good to see you.
But it's like, yeah, maybe it's just time to move on. And you'll have these people keep saying it like it's just a normal thing, Maybe we could just look at somebody and maybe we could just do maybe. When you're talking about you want to get rid of Dak Prescott,
right?
Like,
y'all singing that same tune this week?
You want to throw away a franchise top of the line quarterback for potential in a rookie?
Right. For microwave success?
And to think about it, we know the scrutiny that a Dallas Cowboys quarterback goes through. Mike McCarthy just spoke about it today. He said,
right.
I've never seen in my history, and y'all know Mike McCarthy been in the league a long time, right? Like, he
right.
Montana,
Like, you go back to the 90s, y'all.
Yeah, like before, 98, like way back.
He had just been a coach. He's been a coordinator for many years.
Yeah, like way back when. He said, I've never seen a scrutiny, which means there's just a whole nother mental game that you got to go through being a Dallas Cowboys quarterback.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we have a guy that we know can do it. We know can win. We know has the talent, has the stats.
Yeah.
And we're saying, let's consider getting rid of him. Let's see how we can get out of his contract and get rid of him. Okay. It will be the worst mistake. I'm going to play right now. Y'all can say whatever. I'm going to still root for my team because I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan for life.
Yeah.
I'm never going to throw away Dallas. But it would be the worst mistake in Dallas Cowboys franchise history if we get rid of Dak Prescott. I'm just letting y'all know that. And we are going to forever eat it.
Yes.
We're stomach it. I'm not saying we're not going to win games. I'm not saying that we will never make the play. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying if we get rid of Dak Prescott, it would be one of the worst. It will be the worst mistake. I think even above firing Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
Which right now, that's the worst mistake that Jerry did, right?
Yeah.
I think anybody says firing Jimmy. So, woo. I don't know, guys. But anyway, let's move on.
Yeah. I brought this up, Stark, and I know it's one of your favorite guys. When I saw this tweet from Patrick, shout out to Patrick C. Walker, always giving fire, just fire on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow him, just period. And I saw this tweet and I was like, of course, we heard. I don't know if you guys follow the news. I'm sure you guys always follow. But they said that the players are off till next Monday. The next practice is going to be next Monday. They're off after having meetings today and things like that. And this is, just seeing this as one of the first tweets, after hearing that. Also, if you guys can see, also plans to do plenty of work during the Cowboys bye week. He's asked Aiden Durde, who's the line, defensive line coach, to make a tape of his first 6 games in 2023. 97, of course, also wants to dissect his play and see what he can take to another level post bye. He is already a devastating force for Dallas. Of course, we saw, I think he's the highest graded defensive tackle right now in the league. Like Osa, I mean, as we already know, Osa is just doing crazy numbers. I think we talked about him last week on the show.
Yep.
His effectiveness. We saw his effectiveness in the game Monday night. Just shooting through those, shooting through the center. We know the center was going to be a kind of a weak point on that line. I think they had a rookie in there. I think their starting center was out. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think he was outside, and just even so, I think him going through that line kind of happened. I think in the second half, but he was really dominant through the whole game. But we know Osa is a dominant force on that line. But just seeing that he wants to bring even more, and we talked about it, just in past Show Star about him being progressive every year and just bringing more. Elevating more and more of his game, and it's for him to want to bring more. That just shows the kind of player he is. Hopefully, the mentality that's not just in him, but hopefully to that whole locker room.
Yeah. What y'all are seeing in Osa is it typically takes about 3 years for you to see defensive tackles to really, really hone in and make their stride, get into their man bodies and stuff like that. Usually, I know, shout out to Jalen Carter, who's with the Eagles, who's just lighting it up. I mean, he's off the charts. So, I don't know. Maybe he's generational. I don't know. We'll see. But, to be generational, you also got to not have injuries, not have off the field issues, stuff like that, which Jalen Carter kind of has a history of. So, we'll see how great he can be. Well, we know he's good now. But when you're talking about
I heard that, Dwayne. Yeah,
I agree with that, Dwayne. When we see plays, there's things that we've got to copy, which there are things. Our sprint out, RPO, where it's just like you catch the ball, then you sprint out to the side and you throw it. That's a college play. So they've added nuances to this offense that is upgraded. That's why I can't agree to say this everything is antiquated, because that's just not true. I think a lot of fans just speak out of emotion, but just like if you really look at it, it's like everything that we're doing is not antiquated. But anyway, talking about Osa is he's really has come into his man body, but not just physically, but mentally.
Yeah.
And that's what you're seeing. You're seeing complete destruction of defensive line.
Yeah.
Completely unblockable. And see, these are things that we saw when he was in college, but of course, when you come to the NFL, it's a whole different level. And he's had flashes his rookie year. He had flashes last year. But now you're starting to really see what he is.
And not to cut you off, but not only his third year, but his third year, and this is also the third year in Dan Quinn's system, because he came in the same year.
Right. This is his third Quinn. So what you're just seeing is just total. When a player really starts to be straight up consistent, year in and year out, that's how you know what type of player they are. And I've said it. Osa, since the beginning of the season, he has been on a complete tear. He's been a complete terror for offensive lines. And that makes life a lot harder for people, because not only now do you have Michael Parsons on one end, then you have D-Law on the other, but now you're having somebody that's making it really extremely hard for you to even step up in the pocket. Y'all notice that quarterbacks can't really. The reason why the Dallas Cowboys defense, pass rush wise, is so dominant is because we have guys in the middle that are pretty stout.
Yeah.
And you got
had a big Hank in there.
You got Hankins in there. You're already seeing flashes from Mozzie, right? Like you see flashes from Mozzie where in about 3 years, I already said it. I said about 3 years, Mozzie's probably going to be the most dominant defensive nose tackle in the league.
Yeah.
But we'll let people keep saying he's a bust and he's this and he's that. Like with Mozzie's strength, there's just no way he's going to be a bust. With his strength and his work ethic, there's no way he's going to be a bust. He's just having to develop. It's a different scheme that he's in, right? Different stances, different things that he's got to work on, but that can only come from snaps. So if we continue to just work him in, you're going to continue to see Mozzie grow, especially, next to Jonathan Hankins and around the rest of these guys that are really going to help him dominate. You just can see from the guys the resiliency, the work ethic.
Yeah.
And we all laugh at Stephen Jones, but Stephen Jones is right. He said we hate the owner talk, right? But y'all won't say it, but I'm low key ready for Stephen to take over. I know people think I'm crazy, but I've been listening to him. I said I'm ready for this man to just go ahead and take over because
not yet. I don't know. I don't know. Not yet. I gotta see. I want to see how this year play out because I know Steven has been making some great moves. I gotta see the end result.
He's been making great moves. Him and Will McClay been cooking. He's been handing out contract, and he's not doing the shady stuff. It's Jerry. Right. It's Jerry who chose to make a spectacle and bring in Trey Lance to put pressure on that. It's Jerry.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Calvin? How you doing, fam? Good to see you.
Steven ain't playing games. Steven's handing out contracts. I think he learned his lesson from that Randy Gregory situation. If it was up to Steven, Dak would be signed right now.
Right. Yeah. And then it's because we talk about Osa and Big Hank. And shout out to Skywalker Steele. He put out this tweet just showing the running backs we faced, in the first few weeks. You know what I'm saying? And then just the yards per carry we've been able to hold these running backs to. Just trying to. They always been speaking about stopping the run and could be the running backs we got coming up.
We're holding teams under the one outlier was the Cardinals game, and we just were playing extremely undisciplined that game. But you see here, running backs are not tearing us up. Like we're not getting destroyed on the ground.
Yeah, even CMC, there's so much hype around him, but we even held him.
They didn't destroy us on the ground. They destroyed us in the air with Kittle.
Right.
You look at IU, look at Debo. They didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing the whole night. Right. Because we counted for everybody but Kittle. It's like, well, that's what it felt like. We accounted for everybody but Kittle.
Just I think he only had 3 catches, but those 3 catches were
touchdowns.
Yeah, exactly.
They were touchdowns. So, that's how the score, got ran up. But, either way, and I say this because I believe it may be good for us that Steven isn't as emotionally invested. He has such of a calculator brain where in his head, he's like, this makes sense. I'm going to do this. This makes sense. And it's like, that's exactly what we need. Stuff that makes sense. He's like, okay, here you go. Contract for you, contract for you, contract for you, contract for you.
I'm willing to bet he works a lot with that analytical team that Mike McCarthy brought in.
He probably works.
He's a numbers guy.
With Will McClay. I mean, look at the talent.
Yep.
They've done Will McClay and Stephen Jones. I don't care what you want to say, but they have done a hell of a job bringing in talent. They just brought us in another linebacker that I think is going to make a huge difference. They said we in the market. Y'all can hear spin. They said we in the market for another big trade. It could be important.
And look what Sports Junkie just asked. Yeah.
Oh, no, they're going to make a trade. I don't know who it's going to be. It's rumors that's going to be a cornerback. I think we should go out if we can get Derrick Henry. I'm all for it.
You for Henry? I saw that rumor out there. And you know what? What's funny? I was listening to Okoye's live. Like I told you earlier, I was listening to his live from last night. He said going to get a cheap Zeke. I'm on that side, honestly.
I mean, we can get it, but I mean, if we can get King Henry here in Dallas.
Yeah.
What I think there's an issue. I'm like, what's the issue with the run game? Because I too went back and watched Okoye's live. And believe it or not, guys, it's not like the offensive line, they messed up some things, but they weren't just terrible.
Right. It's only their second week together.
You're suffering. Tony Pollard's did something, like I said, some stuff schematically we need to fix with the offensive line as far as like blocking and stuff.
Yeah.
I had saw Duke, what's his name? Duke Manyweather say he kind of gave his suggestions on how he thinks we should fix it. He's like, I think we need to stop pulling guards because it's like every time you pull a guard, it's like someone's going unblocked and you have like defenders running free and stuff like that. And we just need to do more of our combo blocks, just pushing off the ball, which I think that's more of an inside zone scheme, which I thought we were going to run. But apparently we've been running more of a power scheme. And I'm like, okay, so I think I know what the issue is. We're running a power run scheme, but we don't have a power back.
Exactly.
We have a stat back who, what fits Tony Pollard is more of an outside zone scheme, but for our offensive linemen, outside zone is not really what's best for us because we have a lot of power players who are also athletic, right? So we can do power tosses. That's why those plays where you see Tyron or Tyler, they're out in front and they're knocking guys over. That's where we're good going forward.
Yeah.
We're good going forward. So we have these issues though where you're having a power because when you watch the film, there are holes that Tony just can't hit. Some holes he's not seeing because of his ball carrier vision. Sometimes it's just he's scared. You can see he's scared of the defenders, right? Yeah. Because it's a lot of contact you have to endure when you're going in between the tackles. What's suited for Tony is getting him out on the edges. That is correct. That's what's more suited for Tony, a scat back. You want to get him outside where he can avoid people, not go through people.
Exactly. Yeah, because I heard Stanback talking about that on the radio show, saying that it's one thing like he's not the type of back who kind of built up from those hits all game. He may get hit one good time. Like he mentioned, like he may get hit one good time in the first quarter, and he's still feeling that by the second half. So it's not always his body type. Yeah, body type is very important.
He's not built for that. But what they want to do, Mike Solari, Schottenheimer, Mike. They want to be able to road grade people and go through people.
Hey, what's up to you, Dr. Tack? What's up? How you doing, fam?
Glad to see you. Glad to see you in the check brother. I think what we really need to do, we can mix up the schemes because you need to get Tony. You need to get Tony some looks that he's gonna be good at, but making Tony run up the A and B gap is not gonna work. It's not sustainable. And he don't want that smoke. He don't want that smoke. He's not trying to get hurt again. You can tell. So we was like, can you get Tony off the field and get Rico some? When Rico
he has to build for it.
Cutting back, hitting holes. Tony Pollard, it's just like he's just scared going up in that middle. He's scared.
He's not built for it. I think and it's not a bad thing, but he was used to having someone to break down that defense for him, so he can make those plays. Like you mentioned, we don't see those explosive plays from him anymore because he's taking so many of them hits. Then even Stanback mentioned that you got to use him properly.
Did y'all hear what Mickey just said? Say it again. What did you say? He's not what?
He needs somebody
to soften up that defense.
Exactly.
That's what Zeke was doing. See, y'all thought we are crapping on Tony Pollard. We're not crapping on Tony Pollard. We know who Tony Pollard is. He's a skate artist, right? He needs somebody to soften up the defense so that he can go through it. We need a power back in this team. Whether we want to go and get Zeke, get a poor man Zeke, or like I said, if we were really serious, get on the phone and get Derrick Henry to Dallas. He trains in Dallas all the time. He loves Dallas. Get on the phone, Jerry. If you want, you called up San Francisco so fast to get Trey Lance to hear get your ass on the phone and call us. What do y'all need for Derrick Henry? Because if we get Derrick Henry with this power scheme that we want to run,
because even the Bills said, because they even said the Fournette is visiting with the Bills. You know what I'm saying? And we know he's a power back. Now I don't know if he would come over here because I think it was on Okoye's live where he mentioned that Fournette and Michael don't really like each other like that. But
I don't know. They did say they haven't been, but if we can get.
Like you mentioned, we
don't need no Dalvin Cook. We already got Dalvin Cook. We don't need that. We need a power back. I don't know who the power back is on the market, but I know the best one and who's fast is Derrick Henry.
Right.
Just imagine Derrick.
We just saw him, I think, in this last past week, and he had to break away for a touchdown. Well, I think it was a near touchdown run where he got to the 10 to 5 yard line. So
Derrick Henry is going to add. Now that's what you call real. That's a serious in-season move. Yeah. If they say the Titans are trying to ship him, and I'm like, how much y'all going? What pick y'all want? How much
Are
y'all
they
gonna
serious though? I'm wondering because I know I know there was chatter last year about him being shipped out, but it never really came to fruition. But I mean, they got Spears, they got the backup now, Tajay Spears, that they can probably play out. You know what I'm saying?
Spears, who's been killing it.
Yes.
They don't need. They're ready to move on with King Henry. He's old. Yeah, send his old butt right on over to here.
Right. What's up, Double R? How you doing, fam?
Because we don't need Derrick Henry long term. We need him for this Super Bowl run. Because we can
draft exactly
and power back. And I think Derrick Henry, he wants a Super Bowl, bro. Y'all, you think Derrick Henry would be on the first train smoking to come to Dallas? He'd be on the first smoking.
I don't know what he getting paid for, like, for right now, and I don't know what he's asking for. But just like you said, it's
we rich him, bro. We not here to keep him long term. We just need to make.
And he knows that.
Yeah.
Just like T.Y. Hilton knew, Jason Peters knew, Anthony Barr knew. And just I'm sure just like I don't know if it's Gilmore or Cooks here on a 1 year deal, but these veterans know, and it's not necessarily about taking not necessarily taking shots or like shortening their contract, but these guys are on Super Bowl runs.
Right.
On the last leg of their careers, Zeke, Devontae Adams. These guys are ring chasing. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Ramsey. You see, he went to Miami. He ain't playing. You see these veterans making these moves, going to these teams who are contenders. Even OBJ, he was thinking about getting on a team who would be a contender. You know what I'm saying? So these veterans aren't necessarily worried about. I mean, they're gonna be worried about the money, but they gotta worry about that in the offseason. They worry about that after February. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they got to think about getting the February. So if we're a contender and see the team we have, it really
we'll worry about the money later. We ain't got to pay him this year. We'll worry about the money later.
Right.
If we even want to keep him. But I think, if we can make it happen.
Yeah, and I don't mean to cut you off, but even that, using him as an extra body on that line, they can use all the help they can get. You know what I'm saying? And just because we did see Tony in pass pro, and that was a huge play towards the end of the game. But we could definitely use some beef up on that line.
For sure, like I'm dead serious about Derrick Henry. Now I ain't been serious. Like some people are like, yeah, that's cool. We could get him. But if we really want to establish, we need a tone setter. We don't have that. Yeah. We don't have a tone setter anymore. Because Tony Pollard, I'm sorry, he's not that. And you don't set the tone in the air. You set the tone on the ground.
Right.
We need power back.
This is kind of on the lines where we already talking about asking some of the tough questions. Why are we not using Rico like we thought? You know what I'm saying? Like, and even it wouldn't. And I don't know if they're seeing it as maybe if they gave Rico more snaps that they would maybe confuse the roles. But like I think Tony knows that he needs, and I think that's what Tony is looking for, someone who can break down that line for him. And I don't know if Mike McCarthy is seeing Rico with only 3 carries for the entire game is criminal. 12 yards is criminal. And I know, and what gets me is that I know that last year that having Zeke and Pollard on this roster, there's no way in hell that Pollard will only get 12 yards. So why are we doing it with Rico? You know what I mean?
It's not really making that's why I'm confused, because now I know people are saying it's the money thing, but I'm like, guys, we kept Rico here 2 seasons for a reason.
Right.
He
got hurt in preseason. He didn't get hurt during the season. He got hurt in preseason.
Steven, Jerry, Will McClay want returns on their investment. Of course, we're not saying make Rico the lead back, but he got to get way more carries. So that's a question I don't know. And maybe before the season, before the bye, they're just trying to see what they got and what they can get out of these guys, so that they know what are the proper changes we've got to make.
Yeah, that's what I was starting to think, especially with them activating Malik Davis, and that was kind of out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which Mike said it was more about special teams. I think people said with Deuce, it's the blocking issue is what's getting him, because I think he did get destroyed on some blocking.
Yeah.
He got destroyed blocking wise. So they're like, we can't have him on the field, because everybody knows whenever he's on the field, it's obviously
right.
They know he's not going to be blocking, so they can easily key in on him. I still think that there's certain packages we can run with Deuce, but that's here nor there. But I think with Rico, Mike, Shotty, now y'all got 6 weeks worth of film. You can clearly see running Tony up the A gap isn't going to work.
Right.
We need to either use Rico or go out there and get an acquisition.
Yeah.
When it comes, it's as simple as that. We need a running back that's not scared and that's built to go and run through contact. Tony Pollard is not built that way, bro. He's not built that way. It's just as simple as that. When it comes to Michael Gallup, I know a lot of people are saying, Mike said, it's about the trust that Dak has in Gallup, and which I can't believe that because Michael Gallup used to be our big play guy. Whenever we need a big play, you call on Michael Gallup. So I can understand like Dak trying to get Michael Gallup's confidence up. But I kind of, and I can also see the other side. Oh, it's just because Michael Gallup, he's the one getting paid. But did Jerry and Steven not see that argument doesn't really hold that much weight to me because Jalen Tolbert is a second-round pick.
Right.
It would hold weight to me if Jalen Tolbert was a free agent pickup.
Actually, I think he had third round. I think he had third round pick. I think we got Sam Williams in the second round that year.
He's a third round pick.
Yeah, and they got Tolbert. Yeah.
He would make that's a hot pick. So it would make sense.
Still, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If he was a free agent, undrafted free agent, it would make sense to me if he was like a super low round guy. But they had a second round grade on Jalen Tolbert. They just picked Sam Williams because they didn't think they just waited who would be there in the third. And they thought Jalen Tolbert would because remember Jalen Tolbert went to a small school.
Yeah,
very small school. Sam Williams he went to Mississippi State. I mean, he went to Ole Miss. Had crazy numbers of sacks and all of that stuff. He had more sacks than Aiden Hutchinson, I think, coming out of college. So, what I think they chose, and then it could also be another thing. It could be also that Dak targeted him that much because of the matchups. Because when I was, like you said, watching Okoye, go through the film and stuff like that, Michael Gallup was on a rookie the whole night.
Yep.
So I think Mike and Dak probably said, we're going to attack this kid all night. He can't cover Michael Gallup.
Davis. Yeah, I think it was Davis because when he was on Cooks, that's when they targeted Cooks as well.
Yep. They was like, we're going to exploit this kid all night because he can't cover. But what was happening is that Michael Gallup was getting locked up. He's getting locked up. Michael Gallup should have been eating all day long. That's why they went. That's why I really think that makes the most sense to me of why they went to him. But then I also think it could also be if there is a front office issue, like maybe front office is really saying, nope, we want to only see Michael Gallup. Jalen Tolbert can only get 2 snaps in the office, which I doubt that they're saying that. But let's say they are. Because there are some Cowboys fans that think that it's Jerry and Steven saying, we don't want to see Tolbert. We want to see Michael Gallup because he's the one getting paid. Okay. You could also be over-targeting Michael Gallup to show Jerry and Steven he's not it. So that can also be an argument.
Yeah.
This boy went 3 for 10.
Yeah.
3 for 10. So with all those scenarios, either way, Michael Gallup showed. I'm glad he got all them targets, and I'm glad we still won. But it showed he's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
It showed that Brandon Cooks is your number 2, and you need to really start splitting them snaps evenly with him and Jalen Tolbert. And if Jalen Tolbert start catching that ball, and Dak start building that confidence in him,
right. I'm just wondering say it again.
We can get out of Gallup's contract because it's set up just like Amari Cooper. It's like 2 years. Years avoidable. So
I was just going to say that one thing, like you said, and they're trying to see what they have in him. Like you said, trying to put to the test if he can have another good game like he had against the Cardinals. Because you know what? Because we're not, like I said, we're not, trying to shut Michael Gallup down or say that he shouldn't be getting the targets he is getting. It just, because he had it, like you said, he just had a good game a couple of weeks ago against the Cardinals. We know he had, I think, close to a 100-yard game. But it's just about remaining consistent. I think we've seen, I forget what show this week, but it's about being consistent. It's about, I think it was Stanback who was saying, like, yeah, he's getting those targets, but actually he mentioned number one is about utilizing him right. As I mentioned with the Cardinals game, they gave him like a lot of slants. So maybe just kind of, give him what he's good at, but also at the same time, like you mentioned, Star, if you see if it's not connecting, like you mentioned, get somebody else in there going, like even I think with the Jets game, we got Tolbert in there a little bit, I think, and he was converting, I think maybe 2 or 3 first downs, so kind of to get his confidence up. That would add to the game to move the ball down the field.
Tolbert is catching literally everything. It's undeniable that he's ready. Look at this. This is I can send it to you. We'll send it to you on Twitter. I'm gonna send this to you on Twitter, and you can bring it up on the screen. I don't know what else you got, but
all right, got you.
Yeah, bring this up on the screen.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, we just. I got you. Make sure you guys hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that share and subscribe button too, y'all. While I bring this up. Please
like the content. So that YouTube can tell more people to tune in. But look at this. This is Dak Prescott's chart, for each receiver. So CeeDee Lamb, 34 completions, 42 attempts, 81%, 475 yards, a touchdown, passer rating when targeted, 121.
Wow.
Michael Gallup, 17 of 31. Only catching 54% of his targets. 197 yards, 0 touchdowns, a pick. Rating when targeted, 60%. Tony Pollard, you see that, 92%. Right. Jake Ferguson, 21 of 29, 101 passer rating. Now, Brandon Cook is really bad.
Right.
But I think this is more so of
lack of targets.
Yeah, targets, right? Because he's only had 23 attempts, 13 completions, 56. He still has a higher percentage average than Michael Gallup.
Yeah, and a lot of those, I don't know what each what the numbers pertain to, but the 49ers game, we saw that was Dak just kind of taking shots out there at Cooks.
Right, 49ers, because that one comes from the 49ers game, one comes from the Cards game.
Yeah.
Dak was like, I forced it. I tried to get it back.
And there was one that Cooks caught out of bounds, so I'm sure that didn't count, you know what I'm saying, where he took too long to throw the ball.
This other interception, I don't know where it had to be the 49ers game.
I think so.
I'm like, did they target him twice? And
he only had that one interception. I think, what was it, in the Jets game? He had the one interception?
It must have been that slant. Maybe. No, Dak didn't throw no picks versus the Jets. His first pick was versus the Cardinals.
Was the Cardinals? Okay.
Yeah, so Dak only has 4 picks out of the year. So
he just got the first one. Yeah. So
it was those 2 slants, I think. It was the deep ball in the 49ers game, the 4th throw in the Cardinals game, and then the slant where he literally didn't even see the route from.
He wasn't ready.
But I think if you actually, how we saw Brandon Cook show up versus the Chargers, that percentage is going to go way up. Then you see Turpin, 141, Tolbert, 102. Like, we've got the guys. We need to utilize them. But when you're looking at Michael Gallup's numbers, buddy, outside of this outlier of Brandon Cooks, which I think we got to figure out how to better utilize him.
Yeah. And even Ferguson has the same amount, pretty much the same amount of yards as Gallup does, but less targets.
Correct. It's time to get Baylor. And I'm not saying you completely exit Michael Gallup out of game plan, But he needs to start splitting those targets.
Yeah, because he even said in during training camp where he mentioned himself that he knew he had to have a good year. He mentioned himself that he knew he has guys behind him ready to play, and they even elevated Jalen Brooks. And like you mentioned, Turpin, pretty 141 passer rate. So we pretty much anytime you get the ball in Turpin's hand, he does something with it. You know what I mean? So he knows there's guys behind him that had opportunity. He could very well be sitting, like Botch mentioned on one of his shows. I mean, we got the Bobby coming up. He's not going to be that much of on a. I don't think they're going to give him that much of a timetable to make up, to have many games like this.
Yep. But yeah, I think we definitely, outside of Brandon Cooks, like I said, I think his stats is more so about how he's been utilized.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I'd have to go review all missed targets from him because I don't know if it's mostly on him or Dak just throwing in his direction, but he's really throwing the ball out. Like, we don't know. I don't know. I have to review every target from him. But with Michael Gallup, we see it's just he's consistently inconsistent.
Right.
And for this to work,
yeah,
we have to have consistent players.
Yeah.
We have to. That's how you win championships. Everybody's got to be consistent. Okay, but we can move on to the star makers.
Yep. Yeah. So as you guys know, each week, we choose a star maker from the game who we think, kind of, show their best, pretty much their best game on the field, for that evening. Star maker for the evening was Dak Prescott, and mine was Brandon Aubrey. So if you want to go ahead and go first, Star, you go ahead.
Whoa. Why am I saying this time about the Denver Broncos and the Philadelphia Eagles are in serious trade talks?
What?
Regarding Pat Surtain?
Are you serious?
This ain't from a real account, bro. This boy only got 223 followers.
Man.
I don't think this is no.
Because they always seem to be, because even remember when we tried out linebackers, they messed around and signed Brandon Smith after we didn't pick him up.
Yeah, it's fake. It's fake. I was about to spaz out like.
Yeah, cause I
saw you. Like, what? Like,
I'm like, yo.
Like, absolutely not. Jerry, I'll be mad because I'm like, Jerry, you gonna sit there and get on the phone for Trey Lance, but not Pat Surtain? You gonna let the Eagles?
Right. Anyway, he actually use?
It's fake. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy. Like you said, like if they just get into some serious, because we know the Broncos, they haven't even won a game yet, I don't think. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna have a fire sale.
They won against the Bears.
They won one? Okay. Oh yeah, I think it was the Bears or something like that.
Yeah, it was versus the Bears. They need to be aggressive. They need to be aggressive. Jerry, in any world, let the Eagles get past their team.
Right.
I don't care if we got to give up 2 picks, 2 first rounders. Give it up. I'll give you 2. Michael Gallup.
Yeah, even a whisper of that, man. Y'all need to get on the phone and be like, okay, look, are y'all look? I'm asking y'all, point up, straight up, period. Are y'all even considering it before it gets?
You so aggressive for Trey Lance, Jerry. Like, be aggressive for players that you fuck over the head.
Right. You aggressive for a quarterback 3? Come on, Jerry.
I said done deal. Like, Jerry, see, this is what I'm talking about. Jerry be playing too many games. This is why I said I'm ready for Steven, because Jerry plays too many games. He plays too many games. It's always this psychological warfare that he likes to play with players because his old age,
his
like
own
Jerry,
players, right? His own damn players.
Jerry. Let Steve. I want Steven to be the president, owner, and Will play right on it, the vice president, and I won't. I'm
and the player personnel, the vice president / vice president of player personnel, all that.
I'm not Jerry. I'm trying to tell y'all guys. Like Steven and them. Steven is a tightwad, but he's logical.
Yeah.
Jerry's not logical, bro.
And like you said, especially now, he's making better moves. Smarter moves. Yeah.
Better moves. The team, like that's Steven and Will McClay. That's not Jerry.
Yeah.
Only person
Jerry is freaking
Trey Lance. That's it. That's it. But anyway, my star maker, of course, Dak Prescott. Y'all, I don't know if y'all saw it on the thumbnail, but I said, wow. I really, really saw, and it's crazy that Dak did this. And Rich Eisen, remember I told you last week how Rich Eisen was like, the playmaker was like, we never gonna have that Dak.
All right, Dwayne, shout out to you. Thanks, fam. Appreciate you.
But he was like, we not gonna have. Dak's just not that guy no more. He's just not that guy that can put the team on his back and all of this stuff. And
right.
Rich Eisen was saying he never believed it. He's like, I can't believe that. Like, y'all really saying that, but for Dak, what he did on Monday night was he took the game into his own hands.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to see out of you, Dak.
Yeah.
That
also consistently as well. Like you mentioned earlier with Gatler, like it's one thing to have a game like that, and we love seeing it every now and then. But we, like you mentioned, stars about consistency, and like McCarthy's been saying in his pressers, is about continuity and consistency. Okay, well, let's see it. And with Dak, with play calling, all that.
That rogue, that you.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That rogue Dak. I like that. Go ahead, Star. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
That went rogue, and that's what we've got to see. That when sometimes what really needs to happen, people won't say it. I think Ernie said it, which Ernie trolls a lot. He trolls a lot on Twitter, or on X. But he said that he said something. I said I agree with that 100%. He said it's time to just let Dak be in complete control of this offense, and we just need to live and die by that. Now, Mike McCarthy and Schottenheimer can also give him suggestions based on what they see, right? Okay, Dak, we need you to do this, but Dak, at the end of the day, buddy, like you have the mind to do it.
Yeah,
like you've been compared to Peyton Manning, not for the play, which obviously his play in the first 8, we've already done that chart, but his mind.
Right,
your mind is elite. Your mind is you may not have the greatest arm like Patrick Mahomes or Justin Herbert, all of this stuff, and you may not be 6'4", and you may not have long hair and all of this bull crap. You may not be faster, but Dak's mind is elite. There is reasons why Dak Prescott, why these defenses, do y'all know the types of defenses that these teams are throwing at Dak?
Right.
They are all these disguises, every time they play Dallas, it's some other different scheme.
Right. Right, you heard when they came out the bye week, they were playing defenses they didn't even recognize. On top of this,
they don't even know what this team is. And your quarterback, if y'all don't believe me, go through. Okoye went live last night. Okoye Media went live last night for 3 hours, and he's like, you see all this stuff Dak's doing? Like, they tried to bait Dak so much.
Right.
With the coverages, you think I'm over here, then I'm backing up in zone?
Right.
Like, not gonna get me. No, your quarterback's mind is elite.
Right.
Top of the pinnacle. You need to allow Dak Prescott. I am going to get on this ship. We live and we die by Dak Prescott. Let Dak. Remember how you said, "In Dak we trust." Have full control. Oh, and he's supposed to have full control, but I don't think it's been that way because I think there's been some apprehension from Mike and Shaw and everybody, and even Dak. But let Dak. He showed on Monday he can do it.
Right. Even and to add to your point, even Stanback said that it's seeming like McCarthy is, like you say, apprehension. He's kind of trusting his own way. It's not that he doesn't trust Dak. It's just right now he's trusting himself more than he's trusting Dak.
Right.
He needs to let go.
Dak is a quarterback. Sometimes you do have to protect Dak from himself,
Yeah.
right? I'm not saying that because Dak will overwork himself and all that stuff. Sometimes you do got to protect Dak from himself.
Yeah.
But Dak is showed let Dak do it, and I think they're gonna do it after the bye.
Yeah.
I think it shocked them what Dak did because Dak said it was not planned. None
Right.
of that stuff was planned. Dak running in for that touchdown was not planned. All
Right.
that offense, it was not planned.
Actually, I think Schottenheimer said he called that. He called the option where Dak ran in for the touchdown.
Yeah, but who he called it?
And that's what they said in this press conference. He said they said that he called for the option for Dak to run into the end zone.
Oh, Schottenheimer said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know because it looked like Dak wasn't gonna pull it. Okay, well maybe he did, but regardless, we need to allow Dak Prescott
Yeah.
to return back to who he was to who he is,
Yeah.
which is he's elevated. His mind is, like I said, next level. You're on the mind of a Tom Brady. You're on the mind of Peyton Manning. I want Dak to start calling hot routes. Like, let Dak have full control. Full control.
Yeah.
And we
like you said, just trust him more. Like they already trust him. I mean,
trust him.
I think we mentioned. I think it was Bosch. I don't know if it was him who mentioned it, but they said that it just seemed like McCarthy and Shoddy was also watching the mainstream media, after last season because they were worried about Dak going across the middle.
I said it was in. It got to the mainstream, to probably the front office, to the coaches about those. Damn the interceptions.
Right. You see, they don't score anymore. You see, they ain't saying nothing about interceptions.
Right, and most of the interceptions last year was anyway because of those damn arms. Like we already went over this. I don't know how many times we can say that.
Right.
Your quarterback is a very brilliant, smart. And if you really let Dak take over this offense, you will really see how brilliant Dak Prescott can be.
Yeah.
Let him do it. Take the rank, and they already did it because in the Chargers game, they were attacking.
Yeah.
They were attacking. It wasn't just dink and dunk it. It's going to dunk it here.
Right.
It was like, this is the easier throw, but I'm gonna throw it at CD Lamb in that corner.
Yeah.
Start that Gallup's triple cover, but I trust my arm.
In the end zone too. In the end zone.
Attack. Let your quarterback attack. He can do it, and when Dak's confident.
We saw big plays coming out. I think the first two or three throws were the CD, like you said, downfield.
He's confident. Let him play. Let that get back to playing how he can make any throw. He showed that on Monday.
Yeah.
Make the decisions. Make the right calls. Like Dak Prescott is ready. Take the leash off, Mike. I know you're scared, but like you said, in this offseason, you want a Hall of Fame quarterback. You got a Hall of Fame quarterback in Dak Prescott. If you allow him to solidify himself this year, we're going to do it.
I agree.
Solidify himself. Take off the reins. We're not running option rounds, so you don't have to worry about it. Let him do what he does best. Because on Monday night, we really just it's like there he goes, like that's that, and
and it's crazy. Like you said, it's crazy. He did right before the bye week, so they had time to, like you said, sit down and look at these past few games.
And now because he did
contrast,
right now, Schottenheimer say, you know what, we do realize we do need to use Dak's legs more. He still has the mobility. Exactly. He's a young man. If Russell Wilson can be out there scrambling at 35 and 36,
right?
That just turned 30, bro. Like. Let him. Now, we're not like Schottenheimer said, we ain't going back to Mississippi State days.
Right, right.
That's too much. We're not going to have that kid like that, but bro, let that do that. That's all I'm saying. Let that be that. However he wants to do it. But anyway, that's enough off my soapbox.
No, I for real, for everything you said, I agree with, because we see how much it not only elevates Dak's game, but elevates the team, the team around them. Like we always talk about help your quarterback, surround your teammates, like we saw with the center. running up to recover those fumbles at those prime moments. And it's also the same thing with the quarterback. You watch your team, and I kind of like Sports Junkie mentioned earlier about watching a play 1,000 times. You watch that, and not just that play, but other plays on the field where Dak just kind of has like this, like he mentions his instinct on the field, just wanting to make those moves. Like his legs told him to move, so he moves. So and at the same time, you see the teammates watching him too. You see Tony seeing that he's breaking out. He needs to get open, and you see Ferguson also run up across the field and try to make a block. So it's important not just to not always be in your own world, not to just be. When you're on the field, you got not also worry about doing your job, but also watch your teammates, watch what's going on, because you never know when the play's gonna break out. And then even after that, Tony catches it and keeps going, but then Tony breaks the tackle. So you gotta just
that fire, Dak Prescott. We go as Dak Prescott goes.
Exactly.
And that's what we need to do. We need to go as Dak Prescott goes. You at some point, you gotta trust your quarterback. And let him have full control. Let him have full control. We're gonna live and die by him, and I guarantee you, we're gonna get good results. We saw what Dak did. Mike McCarthy couldn't even get Will Greer going in the
preseason, y'all, against second and third teams.
That had Will Greer playing with complete ultimate confidence, bro.
Yeah,
did not stop him. Like I'm trying to tell you. Let that do it, bro. The guy's a winner. He's been a winner. He has the toughness. He has the grit. He has the mind. He has the athletic ability. He has the morality.
Yeah, the leadership.
He has the leadership. He has the faith. He has everything you need in a quarterback. We go as that goes. That's what I say. We go as that goes. Right. I see you got here, Butter Aubrey.
Yeah, and I didn't want to choose like an obvious. I know we know Bell balled out, like you mentioned earlier with Osa. He balled out as well. CD got his target as well. We finally get him the ball. That was great to see. But I just kind of wanted, just kind of give him his flowers. We kind of knew what the talk was coming into the season. And even during camp, we were reassured with how this guy was doing in camp. We really didn't get to see, surprisingly enough, what he was actually doing out in Frisco, right before the season started. So we were still kind of, not sure what we had, but seeing him grow, over these past few weeks, and even, this past week or past weekend, but this past Monday, he made, I think his 15th and 16th, I think, a consecutive field goal. So just seeing him kind of build, his career as a kicker, because he's always been an athlete, but he was a soccer player before. So just seeing him just kind of grow his career, and just kind of a side note, I didn't know. I found out during Dak's post game interview that he was familiar with Aubrey before that. That he hadn't followed him before that. So maybe he has more confidence. Maybe being familiar with Dak, maybe that kind of got his confidence a little bit, and maybe that's why they got rid of the other kicker altogether. Maybe they kind of found out about the history that he has with Dak. So maybe that kind of, Dak gave his more confidence, and maybe that's what's on the job. And so that's kind of what I'm starting to believe now, just kind of finding out those things, along the way. But, and I just kind of want to bring up the tweet at the same time when I'm talking about it, there was also that confusion, we know that the speculation about how Mike kind of went into, before we went into the second half, before we went going to halftime, kind of just taking the kick right there, going for the points, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was confusion before they actually, cleared it up. I just want to bring up this tweet real quick for you guys. Just 1 second, bear with me.
No problem.
All right. Perfect.
Ooh, man.
All right, so this is just a tweet that Gelkin put out, and this is for a quote that McCarthy put out about how he ended the first half. And like he said, we just decided to play it safe. I just felt the way the game was going. I think we had a holding penalty earlier on the series. I just wanted to make sure we got the points and got out of there. And as we saw, as the game went, that Aubrey got the points there, and of course later on in the game we had to get points going down the field. Aubrey got the points as well, and that ended up, as we see, and that's what, also the last time we played the Chargers. I don't know if you guys saw after the game, and that's how much we won by the last time. A single field. So just seeing
the exact same score. And I know a lot of people. I listened to a podcast today, and they said they are out on Mike McCarthy for the day. We literally won the game by 3 points. At some point, guys, like I get it. We had a timeout. Um, we had a timeout. That give your quarterback a chance to throw it into the end zone.
Right.
But the fact is, every single time you pass the ball, there are many factors in play. And Mike said it. He said they have like a thing, and he was like, "You had 8 seconds left."
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is the end of the quarter. Do we want to like? It sounds good because you're like, okay, I want points here, but you did get. He wanted to secure points. Mm-hmm. Now you can throw it. You can throw it in the end zone. Tip ball interception. You can throw this on the score. Somebody gets hurt. The wide receiver gets hurt. The lineman can get hurt. And y'all might say, well, who cares about that? You can't live in fear. But it's not like you have to make, is it worth it?
Right.
Like, sometimes it's just better to take the for sure point. I get it. You wanted to score, right? You wanted to score.
And we saw leading up to that point how hard it was for both sides to get to score. It was
so hard to get in the end zone. You continuously getting penalties. Something happens that anything could have happened. It's 8 seconds.
Right.
Go in the half up and live to see another day. Now, in the 49ers game, when Mike just threw in the towel.
right. At that part, yeah.
Going into the second half, I think we could have tried a little bit harder.
Yeah. When you're looking for some like kind of momentum or something like that to go into the half. Right. I mean, even at that point, going for a field goal. I mean, I know we didn't have the field position at that point. But even in that game, getting 3 points would have been some kind of momentum.
Nothing was working, and Mike was like, "We got to reset."
Right.
But he's got to have. I get it. There's time to be. And they always say with these coaches' decisions, if it works, they're geniuses. If it doesn't work, they're the worst coaches.
Exactly. Yep.
And I'll guarantee you, we throw an interception there and we lose that game by 3 points. Including these same people that said they done with Mike, they would be done with him because we lost the game.
Right.
And you do this and you do that. Then we would have won by 3. We lost by 3 points.
Right.
All the analysts, all the great analysts, this is really where the Dallas Cowboys lost the game because Mike McCarthy, with 8 seconds left, chose to force the ball in the end zone and got
instead of taking the points. Mm-hmm. You hit the nail on the head right there, Star, for real. And just like sports, like you said, we saw with the Super Bowl, and it don't even got to be the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? It could just be like Star said, small game. You know what I'm saying? Say. I think just this past weekend we saw 49ers miss a field goal that they thought was sure points. Now, granted, they were in a different field position, and ours compared to theirs was a chip shot. But I'm sure they would want to be closer to be able to get a field goal and be able to secure that game. So we don't like sometimes how games fall to it coming down to a kicker, extra point, field goal or anything like that. But like when you're in that position, and like Star said, I understand too. Like 2 timeouts, 8 seconds. Why not take a shot? But we saw last year, like I said, at the Super Bowl, we saw last year the last second trying to go to Noah Brown in overtime, and he get an interception off a tip ball. So it don't matter how far you are from the end zone, how close you are to the end zone. Like we mentioned, Herbert has a red zone interception. Josh Allen has red zone interception.
Herbert leads the game in the league in fourth quarter game losing interception.
Right.
You just can't. You have to be smart. With a games like that, I would agree. I would do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, we getting points out here. This
game. Right. I'll do it again.
My team keeps getting penalties. That's enough. He said it. He said we kept getting penalties. So we get a penalty there. Then we push ourselves back, 15 yards?
Right.
How much they push you back when you get penalty? 5, right?
I think so, 5, yeah. Holding penalty would be 5 yards.
Holding penalty. Okay, so now we got 5. Now we just pushed it back. We don't get points. We had to get points.
Right.
We had to get points there.
That's really why I understand why people are mad because you didn't take a shot in the end zone. We got points. It'd be one thing if we tried and failed. Why not just take the points? Like you said, why not take the points?
Did y'all see that disaster that Dayball did versus the Bills that he could have won?
Man.
What a disaster.
Because the quarterback was confused. Because he didn't know to not.
What a disaster. You could have won the game. You could have won the game right there. You didn't get it. What a disaster. No.
And they have, I think they had like at least, 30 seconds in the red zone. And they ran the clock down, I think 15 seconds because they ain't know
what happened was Tyrod Taylor decided to call a run. Dable had it as a pass, but I think Tyrod didn't trust his arm.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Why would you trust your arm with your Tyrod Taylor? So Taylor was like, "Oh, we'll just do They had like 10 seconds left. He's like, "Oh, we'll just run it in there." They stonewalled him, stayed on Saquon Barkley for like 4 seconds. Clock ran out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't have that. Like I said,
I'm sure that even factored into his decision because that game was just Sunday night, the night before.
I believe that factored into Mike's decision. He was probably like, "Hell no."
Right, just before halftime, and pretty much the same situation. Like that has to be it. That has to be it.
You had 2 timeouts.
That has to be it.
He had one more timeout. It's like just get the points.
Right. Like you say, anything can happen.
Anything can happen in a split second. Anything can happen. We could not run the ball.
Right.
You had to pass it. You had to.
Right. We see the way Tony's been. I mean, no offense, and I know it was called back. But we see the way Tony's been fumbling the ball lately. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, tip ball possibly. Like instead of taking the chance, let's take the points.
Exactly. It's like why take a chance and throw it? Because you want to actually have to throw a pass that's going to get in the end zone.
Right.
Like that's what you're not just throwing the ball up. Like you're trying to score. You're trying to score a touchdown.
You got to scheme somebody open.
Chargers were like, as terrible as their defense is, they're like topping the league in red zone.
Exactly.
Like, did y'all forget that? They're like pretty good at red zone. And
Yeah.
we're pretty bad at red zone. So we go force it. Let's force the ball in there. And you don't want Dak doing that too. Like, all right, I'm trying to. He was in his bag all day, so he could have been.
Right. Game. It wasn't even worth it.
It's not worth it. It's 8 seconds left. I gotta say if it's 30 seconds and Mike just like let the go.
Right, yeah. Less than 10 seconds, y'all. Less than 10 seconds, y'all. Come on.
10 seconds, guys. Like, come on. It was 8 seconds. Y'all thinking like it was 30 seconds. And Mike was like, give up. Let's just put the ball back and just get a 3 points here. No.
Right.
It was 8 seconds, guys. And you don't know. Mike McCarthy, he's been in the league a long time.
Yeah.
I remember in the early 2000s, my dumb ass is hard to try to force it in there. We lost the game, and that really derailed our playoff. Like, we knew we had to win this game.
Right.
We had to win.
I'm with smarter play calling, especially as much criticism as we've been giving him the past few weeks for him to make a decision to get the points. Right, like Tavis said, it's funny. We'll beat a bad team, but it'll be pandemonium with us with the loss to Arizona. We can't win for nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we do.
Like we got the points there, guys, and then you got people talking about why is it always with us? We gotta play the what if game.
Yeah.
Well, we should have lost because what if Herbert had hit those throws?
Right.
He didn't. Like, why are we going off of what if? Well, what if Dak actually had actually just given it to TP and he didn't run in there? Then we would have lost. But he didn't.
That's crazy, right?
Like, why are we playing this what if game? I don't get that. Like, no other team has done that. Like, when a quarterback gets a throw, it's missed.
Right.
We actually should have lost. We should have lost.
You heard on Botch's live where he said he was listening to somebody, I forget his name, and said that they should include the sacks.
When I saw that,
They should include sacks and incomplete passes, y'all.
When I saw
Dak was 19 for 35 all of a sudden.
I'm done. I'm done. Like, let's please stop. What if this? What if this had happened?
Hey, look, Peasy, listen to it. Yeah, I know you be in Botch's chat. Yeah, he heard it too. He was really trying to consider
incompletions. Like, what are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. We got people on our own fan station that literally want Dak Prescott to fail.
Right.
When Dak Prescott plays, they hate when they say, "Well, Dak, he can't do that." Then Dak do it. Then they mad.
Our own radio is wishing injury.
Well, can he do? Yeah, wishing injury on our own quarterback.
It's sick. Man.
It's sick. Then well, we know Dak get it here. Can he do the playoffs? And that's what I want to talk about. We can end the show on this. Franchise quarterback. Your franchise quarterback is a guy that you win because of, not in spite of, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Your franchise quarterback, there are going to be some games where they can make up the difference. And there's some games that they cannot. This is a team sport. Your quarterback cannot, no single quarterback can carry a team all season. And they damn sure can't carry a team in the playoffs.
Right.
There's no carrying a team. In the playoffs, that is the best of the best of the best. Your defense has to step up. Your wide receivers have to step up.
Yep.
Everybody, your special teams have to step up. Everybody has to step up when you're playing the best of the best of the best of the best.
Right. But you say, I was talking about come down to the details of who you're playing.
So, yes. There are some games where your franchise quarterback, we need you to pull us out.
Yeah.
But they cannot do that every game. Dak Prescott has a tenure. He's pulled us out of many games, bailed us out of a lot of bad plays consistently over his career. But he cannot do it all the freaking time. Right. Neither can Patrick Mahomes. Neither can Justin Herbert, clearly. Neither can Joe Burrow. Neither can Josh Allen. Neither can Lamar Jackson.
Right. Mm-hmm.
They can sometimes they can put the team on their back and they can will us to victory.
Right.
But that's not going to happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Prime example.
And sometimes it might be the other way around. It might be because of them that they lose a game.
Yep. And sometimes it's that too. Sometimes your franchise quarterback has a bad day and they just flat out lose you the game.
Right.
That happens.
We're seeing examples of that, and we our own that with Dak, but also across the league, like with the quarterbacks we just mentioned.
It happens. You have bad games. The best quarterback in the league is Patrick Mahomes, right? Now, could he will his team to victory when he lost that Super Bowl versus Tom Brady and the Bucs? Nope. Want to know why? Because he was running for his life.
Right.
He had no offensive line. Since that Super Bowl, he's had top 5 offensive line since. Because no quarterback can do it all on their own. When you're playing the best of the best, you got to have the team. You got to have the team. You got to have the scheme. And you got to have the right type of players. Like Stephen Jones said, you got to have the right type of players that they have the mental fortitude to win the game. You look at the Rams winning the Super Bowl. Who won in that game? Now, Stafford did what he did, but when it came for the game on the line, who ended it? Aaron Donald.
Right.
Like,
facing in a couple weeks, guys, by the way.
There's only so much your franchise quarterback can do.
Yeah.
And there's some teams that, I'm sorry, baby, there's no willing y'all to win. There's no willing y'all to win. So, what I want to just leave, I guess my final word, my last thing I just want to say is that we have a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
who's top of the league, or however way you want to split it. Top of the league, never had a losing season. I mean, this man has not only faced adversity on the field with a front office who didn't believe in him, coaches who didn't know how to coach, scrubs as players, and this man has never had a losing season ever. People like to point out, oh well, we were 3-2 when he went down in 2020, or 2-3, and I'm like, what does that matter? Like, he didn't play a full season. Dak was on pace to break
who his receivers was.
He was on pace to break the passing yard record and everything like that. Like, it's like people forget about that year where he was literally throwing us to victory because our defense was literally historically bad, franchise and in the NFL.
Right. I guess somebody came off the couch who had, I think, over 200 running yards against us. Dak was scoring points, but the defense,
that was in 2018. That was in 2018 when we got ran through in the playoffs. We should have went to the championship that year, but we got ran through. But that's your quarterback's fault. Anyway, everybody's got to show up. Like Law say, that's DPF. That's Dak Prescott's fault. Everything is. Every year, that's Dak Prescott's fault.
Man,
we have a franchise quarterback. We have the right guy. We have who we need to win. And Dak Prescott is not a quarterback that you win in spite of, or that you just win with. He's a quarterback that you win because of. And he proved that on Monday. He's proved that many times, but he always reminds us he's a quarterback that we win because. I can't get out but talking about the secondary.
All right, we'll touch on that right quick, Nisi. Because we got to talk about, we definitely want to shout out Deron Bland. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out, Marquise Bell, that secondary. They definitely, and I'll even shout out Kirsch. Kirsch definitely played a lot better this season.
They did step up. They did step up tremendously.
I'll just say quickly. I do want to say, like I said, shout out to Bland, but I do want to say that I want him to clean up his tackling. That's one thing I did notice from the game. I do want to see him kind of clean up because I did see some tackles out there where I know he was going against Allen, but there were some times where he kind of wrapped his arm around him, but didn't completely bring him down, and he was able to convert.
And we also got to work on the discipline of the eyes because he was getting got on those double moves.
Yes, he definitely jumps a lot.
But one thing I will say I love about Bland, he does remind me a lot of Trayvon Diggs, is their resiliency. Because they can beat bad on one play, and then the next play they're saving a touchdown.
I love that about Bland.
That's exactly what Bland did because, he had a rough game, but he also saved the touchdown.
Yeah, and almost had, I think it was almost an interception that.
He also had 3 picks on Herbert. 3.
Yeah.
So,
and big moments too. I think it was on their third down.
Right, like our secondary, it was an up and down game for them. Gilly too, but when the game was on the line, he sealed it.
Yeah, and I will agree with you right there on Nisi. Yeah, Jay, I really want Jay Lou, and I'm just really disappointed on that touchdown that they were able to get because I think they got Jay Lou. I think Jay Lou got with that. I forget which game last year, but there was a game last year where it was the same play where he was kind of jogging across the field, and right when he was to throw to the wide receiver, he's like, "Oh, now I want to catch up." It's like, come on, bro, you got to watch out for that.
Yeah, that's just an easy flat. So. But Jay Lou actually has been playing pretty good. I mean, he played pretty good against the 49ers, but he's got to do better.
He played really well.
He's got to do better there. I really do think we should make a trade for corner. They said possibly us getting Jonathan Jones up there in New England or somebody. I would definitely be interested in trading and getting a really good corner that's on a team that they're obviously not going to contend this year. Just to kind of make that secondary foolproof. Because right now it's sustainable, but it's not foolproof. Also, shout out. We didn't even mention Marquise Bell, but shout out to Marquise Bell because he played lights out. He
really did. Hey, shout out to you, James. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you.
So, James, glad to see you. Marquise Bell, he definitely played. Lights out. I can't wait till we get Evans on the field. Oh, I think we're gonna make a real real run. This
And
next
and seeing Micah get some of them snaps at linebacker, I like seeing the variety, and I like seeing that he was able to have some kind of effect as well while he's back there, not just lined up at DN.
Absolutely, yeah. I think everybody knows exactly what's in front of them.
Yeah.
We are facing Puka and Cup next week, but
yeah,
Matthew Stafford can't even get him the ball, so I'm not really worried about it.
Right.
Because Matthew Stafford had no business. When you got Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, and you couldn't beat the Eagles with that terrible secondary.
Right. And he's coming back. Like,
Matthew
I was excited about them playing the Rams because Cooper was coming back.
He's not good, and I don't care. They won a Super Bowl, but they obviously had a super team. He's not good. He's not good. Like, I don't know. They shouldn't have never paid him all that damn money, extend him out. But they had to because he won a Super Bowl. But I'm like, he won a Super Bowl because y'all's team was literally loaded.
Right. Okay. You had Odell Beckham. I mean, come on now.
Like, y'all literally bought a Super Bowl and y'all signed this man. Like, Matthew Stafford's mid. You want to talk about a mid-tier quarterback? He's very, very mid. He's no better than Derek Carr.
Yeah, I agree with you there, James.
I'm like, you think Patrick Mahomes or Dak Prescott or Joe Burrow got the best wide receiver score in football, so I can't speak for him. But you think Patrick Mahomes or Dak Prescott had Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, and you lose to that Eagles secondary? It's just no excuse.
Yeah.
They couldn't move the ball at all. It's like, yeah, they good, but he can't get them the ball. Like,
right. Yeah, I agree with you on that one, and I also agree with James about Izzy too. Like, I really wish, because even with Izzy suiting up, we really didn't see that much of him. So I really want to see.
He was just pretty much a special teamer, but hopefully we can keep him off of. As long as he's suiting up, just let him continue to at least suit up. I can't be seeing him close. He's too much talent to be having there on the sideline, and maybe they'll do some serious evaluations. It's like,
we still got Nashawn Wright too coming back off his practice window. You know what I'm saying? So
put the best players on the field is all we ask. Because y'all letting Jerry and Steven dictate all of this stuff, and it's like you can put the players on the field while also giving the other players snaps. Like, to me, coaches, bro, it's not Jerry and Steven. And even if it is Jerry and Steven, what they gonna do? Fire you?
Exactly.
They're going to fire you, Mike McCarthy. With all of the investment, they're going to fire you. They're going to fire you, Dan Quinn. If you play Wanye a little bit over Donovan Wilson, they're going to fire you. And you can, I'm like, y'all don't know how to play this game? Okay. I let Donovan get 20 snaps and Wanye 13. Like, you don't know how to play this game?
Right.
I'm tired of it. We can't keep blaming Jerry and Steven for every freaking thing. It sounds good. It's Jerry and Steven. Okay, but you telling me Jerry and Steven don't want us to utilize all our assets? Yes, they do want people to get majority of the touches. I don't deny that. They want to return their investment. They spent millions of dollars. They want the players to play. No one is saying bench these players. Like other organizations, they will pay people big money and bench them. That's dumb as hell. I'm not saying bench the players, but you need to divvy out the snaps. That's it. Divide the snaps. That's all we're asking.
Because we need everyone's talent on that field. We see what they can bring.
Jerry and Steven want to hold up a Lombardi trophy. That's all they want at the end of the day.
Right.
Sure, there's the big picture, and there's this, and they want this guy to get the ball. They want, sure, that's great. You can get those guys the ball while still making other people the focal point. It's really not that hard. I know Jerry and Steven did not sign Wanye Thomas so that he could get 2 snaps a game. You're telling me that's what they're saying? You're telling me Jerry and Steven spent a 3rd-round pick on Jalen Tolbert but want him to just play special teams? That's what they did? Like, does it make any sense? It sounds good because we hate the front office guys, but it just doesn't make sense logically. And I know what all Dan said it and Kobe, they do say it. They do want certain players to get majority of the ball. That's fine, but you can still balance it out.
Right. And it's also about like you said, it's also about the coaches bringing that idea to the front office, because if they don't present the idea, Jerry and Steven aren't going to know that these players need snaps. So it's going to come down to the coaches actually inputting the right personnel.
Right. Like, they put you in charge for a reason. So it's like literally, it let's say special teams look suspect without season. Well, I will say I don't want to say it looks suspect. I think we got both, to be honest, because that thing could have been fair catch interference. They said something because Jalen Tolbert hit him first.
Yeah, they're trying to say that
he was
blocker is responsible for where he's blocking into. Right, and you pushed him into the turpin. So it's like he's supposed to control. He's going backwards. He's being pushed backwards, and so he's supposed to control where he's being pushed into.
And that was just the NFL trying to make sure we lost that game. Like y'all want to see somebody's against it is Roger freaking Goodell. Like
that's really going 60 miles per hour out there. You're supposed to know if he touched the ball or not.
Like that makes no sense. That's the dumbest rule ever. They just wanted the Chargers to score a touchdown to make it.
And what made me even more mad is that they waited till after the play. They waited 20, 30 seconds for the whole thing to be over, and then want to be like, oh no, it was interference, and then you let him challenge it. So it goes to a whole commercial break. So of course you're gonna change your mind. You ain't gonna go to a commercial break if you're not gonna change it. Not for our benefit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Of course you ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course not.
Exactly, PZ. Yeah, and his face mask is being grabbed like crazy, and he's being pushed backwards. It's just like, come on.
That call made zero sense. Like exactly, PZ face bad. I mean, it made zero sense. But whatever. They did everything to make sure we didn't win, but we won anyways. So if you NFL, you know what I'm saying? Always want us to freaking lose, like y'all always doing some host stuff.
Right. And you know what's crazy? Before we get out of here, Star, I read about, I think his name is whatever his name is, Land Clark, I think Land Clark's rep crew. They said that actually, usually for the games they officiate before they came for the game. They said that usually the road teams, number one, have more wins with that crew, and they call less penalties against the road team. But you know that changed it for us though. That changed it for the Cowboys coming in.
Yeah, they changed it up. I will say though, I was liking that the refs they gave both sides a lot of penalties.
Right. Yeah.
So I will say that because we had a lot of penalties, but so did the Chargers. So I can't.
Yeah, they're right behind us.
But that freaking play, like they was literally trying to get us to lose the game with that, and we still.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but
I think as these guys come along, and just one last point, as the James point, as these guys come along, I think they'll be better. You know, on special team, like I said, they got to elevate guys. And CJ Goodwin is actually still there on the sideline. I don't know if you guys saw him during the game. He's actually still there on the sideline coaching these guys up. So that's what I love so much about him. He's just willing to be there. You know, just willing to go off with these guys because he knows, you know, just how important his help is going to be on that sideline out there.
Yep. And I think, you know, he's going to continue to encourage them. I'm ready to see. I will say this before we end the show. How realistically, because you know how A-Rod tore his ACL, but he out there throwing the ball, and they think he gonna be able to come back by January. Remember I said this.
I mean, and another point, Jalen Ramsey out there getting back to practice. They opened up his window. Kyler Murray, who wasn't supposed to be back to December.
Return, right? They said he wasn't supposed to come back to December, January.
Exactly.
Trayvon Diggs is already walking around. How likely do we think that we could possibly get Trayvon back?
Right. And that's it. Right. Look, and they said for the regular season. So
y'all remember Tyron Smith right before the season started tore the meat off his ass.
Right.
And
he was done.
Off and came
back. He came back before the season even ended. He was playing right tackle for Terrence.
I don't know, but if there's some way we could get Trayvon Diggs back, bro, for the playoffs.
Yeah.
What's up, Steven? Glad to see you.
How you doing? What's up, fam?
Anyway, let's get out here. We've been out here so long.
Yeah. We appreciate everybody who's here.
It's almost 2 hours long.
Right. We appreciate everybody who's here rocking with us for almost a full. I think it's the first full 2 hour, almost 2 hour show we done had.
Yeah.
So you know, we know we're doing something right, Star. So
we appreciate everybody. Thank y'all for donating to our channel.
Appreciate everybody for the donation. Yeah,
and the subscriptions.
Make sure you guys hit like, and make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, hit subscribe, and catch us next Wednesday. Of course, come back through y'all. You know, even with the bye, we can still come through and give you guys some fire content. Hopefully, be able to come through with a few collab shows along the way. Just to enjoy the bye week. You know what I'm saying? But make sure you guys stay tuned. And hope you guys enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yep. See you guys. Peace. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah. We'll see you guys later.